Oh no! Oh no!
I'm Gary, and this is Coastin' with Culture, which is all about combining theme park visits and riding roller coasters with various cultural experiences around the world. Last time, the Buzzed Bars crew began the longer driving portion of this Europe trip with a pair of German parks, checking out several coasters, while also tackling a massive slide tower and loading a water ride raft very heavy. This time, we cross into Denmark, hitting 2 of the country's parks in one day and continuing to test the buoyancy of water ride vehicles. As we drove north toward Aarhus, Sloan might have been the most excited for our arrival into Denmark because of passengers in cars being able to drink while riding. So he purchased a 9-pack to celebrate, then ended up demolishing it before we arrived to town. We found a great hostel for the night in Book 1, as it had a great location right in front of Møllenparken and near the Aarhus River. We were able to rent a whole room for a bit of privacy, and the bunk beds offered curtains that you could close for some additional privacy, if you felt you needed it. The evening was filled with a few beers, dinner at a nearby Italian restaurant, and some photo spot shenanigans around the neighboring park for an easygoing evening before we'd have a busy day hitting 2 parks. In the morning, before we headed out, Larson and I found a bakery just across the river and a few blocks over from the hostel, and they offered some absolutely delicious pastries, including the cinnamon roll that I had. The first park of the day's pair was Djurs Sommerland, which I had been to as a part of TPR's Scandinavia tour in 2014. I really enjoyed this park for its more camp-like setting compared to other amusement parks.
I love this park, it's so gorgeous.
And while they had the most new coasters of all the parks I'd be revisiting on this trip, we kicked off with a favorite of mine from that prior visit in Piraten, an Intamin Megalite that offers multiple moments of quick airtime. While it ran a tad slow for that first ride, several of the guys came back later for a few more laps, saying that it was even better after warming up a bit. The first of the new coasters we rode was their Intamin family inverted coaster, Drage Kongen. As the ride seems to be geared to compete with the family suspended coasters of Vekoma, this one stands out for its unique layout with a quick launch right out of the station into the first portion of the coaster ahead of the main lift, and a longer twisting layout with multiple foot-chopping moments. It would be great to see more parks begin to add these in their lineup in the future. The second of the new coasters was located right next door as the Air Force Zero called Jungle Rally. It was a shameless +1 for the group. I ended up playing spectator for the guys when they went on the mock water coaster Skateon, which shares the same layout as those found in Malaysia's Dongga Bay and Australia's SeaWorld. Continuing the trend of water rides, we made our way to a water slide that I had enjoyed the previous time I was here, although it was back when I was about 40 to 50 pounds lighter. Now a few folks in the group did it on their own, and some doubled up. Sloan and I, as the 2 heaviest in the group, somehow thought it was a brilliant idea for us to double up together.
Oh no! Oh no!
It was definitely an emotional roller coaster packed in a 10-second ride.
Please, dear God, no.
No! Oh no! I was about to bail out.
After our flirtation with disaster, we took a lap on Thor's Hammer, a mock single-car coaster that has a very unique layout compared to Wild Mouse coasters you typically see single cars like this on. Plus, it's got some fun pops of airtime. We also took a lap on Hoevelen, an Intamin family launching coaster that offers a similar kind of ride to that of Wavebreaker at SeaWorld San Antonio, with a pair of quick and punchy launches and several large swooping turns and zigzagging moments. Getting back into things you don't see in American parks, we made our way to the unique climbing blob tower with a slide on top, which our group certainly had various levels of success.
Oh, I didn't realize it was like a elastic thing.
Oh wait, I kind of want to do this. This is fun.
How is Sloan the first one up? Oh no!
Victory!
This is so slippery and soft.
Possible and soft.
Alright, yeah.
Okay, runner.
Ah!
Gary,
Yo!
you're next. You have to put your feet on the thing. Ow!
No socks, no socks.
No. Tom, it's seriously impossible with socks on. Well, you got oh, Gary's going. Oh, he lost his shoe. He lost the shoe.
Those who did make it to the top also seemed to struggle with the slide down.
No stopping.
Made it.
You've got a butt for a reason.
I don't know.
And as if we hadn't fully pressed our luck enough in avoiding injury, we spent some time bouncing on the trampolines.
Ready, Gary?
Yep. Oh, sh**.
Oh my God!
Holy
What?
Ricky, would you like to see your landing?
Oh my God! Aren't you a gym teacher?
Get up! Get up!
I can't breathe. Do a flip. Do a flip. Do a flip. Well, we could do a flip. Super joke.
The last two coasters here at Djurs were both new additions, as we rode Ville Hundsjagt, which may have some of the cutest theming I've seen on a family coaster. The other new addition was their large mock-powered coaster called T-Rex Family Coaster, located within a new dinosaur-themed area. Seeing the grills in the middle of the park, combined with the more overall laid-back atmosphere, makes me feel like this could be an excellent candidate for a future International Buzz Bars event, and I believe many in the group agreed this park was worthy of more time. Unfortunately, we did have to head out, as we had another park about 2 hours north in Fårup Sommerland. Much like Djurs, this park has more of a camp atmosphere, especially in keeping many of the trees around. Our riding kicked off with their S&S wooden coaster Falcon, which they send you around twice for. It's gotten a bit rough, so one lap might be enough, unless you have a ride-op who won't really let you get out.
Thanks, buddy.
Right next door is Orkanen, the first Vekoma family suspended coaster to feature the layout with a drop into a tunnel, followed immediately by an overbanked turn. This one has the added feature of interacting with the water it sits above. For those wanting to add a +1 as I had back in 2014, there is a family gravity coaster from Zamperla called Pinsvenet, which has larger cars, as the guys in our group could actually sit next to one another. We followed that up with a more extreme ride on Lynette, a launched Eurofighter that offers a layout which is a bit more sprawled out than their off-the-shelf designs, and has a few quick pops of air mixed in. An unexpected intense experience came from the spinning mouse coaster called Flaggermusen. While it's a fairly standard variation of the spinning mouse coaster from Revershon, this one spun particularly fast.
Oh my god.
There were 2 coasters added since my previous visit, and the first we rode was the Vekoma family boomerang coaster called Saven. This ride shares the same layout as Light Explorers from Energylandia, yet it has a very different feel racing through the trees and into the tunnel that surrounds it, as opposed to the large pool that the other coaster sits above. But just like its Polish counterpart, it makes for a fun ride. The other coaster I needed in the park was their new Vekoma Wildcat coaster, Fønix, which was certainly a sleeper hit within the group. Much like Lek Coaster and Abyssus in Poland, this newer version Vekoma offers some great moments of airtime, mixed with off-axis elements that are showing up more often in modern thrill rides. Fønix also gives some nice hang time with the stall loop that comes right after the first drop, and it shares one of Lek Coaster's highlights with the barrel roll fly-through in the station. This was yet another example of why more parks should work with Vekoma to bring more of these kinds of coasters into operation. And for several in the group, it was yet another milestone, as it was Hutch's 300th coaster and the 500th coaster of Marcus and Sloan. If there is one thing I might have found fascinating at the park, it was their take on a more sustainable cup, as it was made in a way so that it folds to lessen the use of plastic straws and lids.
Never had a drinking chalice that's quite like this. Fascinating.
But if that wasn't enough liquid, there was plenty more from our ride on the log flume, as Mike, Larson, Sloan, and I decided to hop aboard the same log for one last heavy boat experience. And there were times where it legitimately seemed like we were going to sink it.
Guys. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Love y'all. With the ship.
To wrap up our stop, we took a few more laps on Fønix before calling it a day. I greatly enjoyed coming back to both of these parks and wish we had a bit more time for each of them, but getting a half day at both was better than no time at either. They offer a wonderful atmosphere that's hard to match back home, while also offering some great coasters, absolutely making visits worthwhile, especially if you happen to be with a fun group like ours. Thank you for watching this Coasting with Culture video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button below to see future videos here on YouTube, like these ones which you may enjoy as well. Additional content can be found at coastingwithculture.com, and you can also follow Coasting with Culture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for announcements, previews, and updates. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care and safe travels.